Okay, I'll scroll up and check. Okay, I'll start with Rajoshi. So I guess that's the first response. Yes, Rajoshi says to Dr. Arjita Pradhan, controller of examination. No, you're writing to the examiner. Okay, for English there is one examiner, for physics there is one examiner, for maths there is one examiner. You are not asking controller of examiner to open all the forms. You are asking one particular teacher because you missed one particular deadline of a certain paper. So it's not controller of examiner, it's examiner. Okay, and then ASH 205 and then department. Yes, you can put department, but then the more technical way will be to put the exam details. Okay, because this is to do with the exam. This has nothing to do with the course conduct.
Yes, I understand.
So I guess Anjali's answer is yeah. To exam department. No, Anjali, you don't write it to exam department. You write exam department for the correction of mark sheet. Okay, not the thing is that this is just I have to open a switch. So you are writing to the concerned examiner. To Pritam is writing to Arjita Pradhan, examiner. ASH 205, and then again department. Instead of department, you can actually put the exam details, because as I told you, these documents will be saved in exam file, not in department file. Okay, yes. So say for example, the apology letters will be in the course file, or maybe your internal marks will be in the course file, but not this. Ankush says to Arjita Pradhan, examiner, online mid-semester examination, Department of Applied Science. Yes, just write online mid-semester examination, July 2020. Very good. Udesh Arjita Pradhan, examiner 205, Department of Examination, School of Technology, Assam University, Silchar, not Department of Examination. You provide the name of the that mid-sem examination 2020, something like that. Rakesh is inspector. No, I'm not the inspector. I'm just the examiner. That's the reason I mentioned it. I gave you a clue, right? Examiner. Mid-sem examination subject code, and instead of giving department details, give the exam details, because it's part of exam. Okay. Shaunak says Arjita Pradhan, examiner, mid-semester examination. Yes, even this is correct. Deepjyoti Rai is examiner, examination, School of Technology 2020. Yes, yes. Arjita Pradhan, very good, very good. Yeah, I hope you got all of them. Got it. Very good. Thank you. So the first one was and the second one was another apology letter that you wrote because you broke the rule of the exam, and you wrote to the exam invigilator. And then the third one was for the examiner, because you did not follow, you could not submit it before the deadline. So yes, the third one is for the first one is for faculty, the second one is for exam invigilator, the third one is for examiner. So now write another letter of invitation for Teachers' Day to me. Okay, so how you write it? So you are conducting Teachers' Day, and you are inviting me. So this is an invitation letter. What will you write in the place of recipient's details? Yes, Uddesha, this is important. Yes, yes. To save time, I'll just have a look of what Rajoshi and Rakesh has written. To Dr. Arijita Pradhan, Department of Applied Science and Humanities, School of Technology, Assam University, Silchar. Rakesh says to Dr. Arijita Pradhan, Faculty of English, Department of Applied Science and Humanities. Rakesh, S and H should be capital for Science and Humanities, School of Technology, Assam University, Silchar. Full stop. Yes, for both these cases, yes, even for Kapil Dev, Arijita Pradhan, Faculty of English, Department. No, not Department of English. I'm not Department of English. This is Department of Applied Science and Humanities. And then School of Technology, and then Assam University, comma, comma. You should put comma, comma after, and then Silchar. Yes. It's just that after Arijita Pradhan, you can write assistant professor here. You don't have to mention the name of the course, Anjali, effective technical communication. Okay, you don't have to mention the name. The course name is not relevant here. The course name is not relevant. Yes, Pritam says Faculty of English. Okay, yes, yes. So Anjali, for Anjali, it's just that the course name is not important here. Okay, the specific, you can just write Faculty of English. Or for everyone after Arijita Pradhan, here you can put assistant professor designation because this is an official ceremony. You got it? So this is the first time where you can use assistant professor, my administrative designation. Add. Okay, I hope all of you got it. Yes, yes. Saurav, I am not a professor. Okay, I'm assistant professor. Otherwise, it's very good. To Arijita Pradhan, assistant professor of English department. Yes, very good. I hope all of you got it. Yes, so that's how. So yes, I just quickly scroll up and I'll say why. Yes, check the chat box. So to name because at times you know the name and at times even if you know the name, it's not very nice to put the name. Okay, and then official designation and the specific role applicable. I told you that I'll explain. Yeah, specific role. If you are writing to the class teacher, if you are writing to the course instructor, if you are writing to the invigilator, if you are writing to the examiner, or if you are writing to the assistant professor, the same person, it's just the purpose of the letter is different. Okay, the background, the situation is different, though both are apology letter. One apology letter you are writing for misconduct during exam and the other one happened during class. So yes, that's how the specific role of that person is important. And then the address, as I told you, there should be comma, 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 and in the last there should be full stop. Check the details of the proper noun, use of official details, and usage of comma. So these are the things I wanted to mention. So I hope all of you are with me. Please keep in mind that even if that person can be present in your life in 2-3 roles, which role you are addressing? You are addressing to the examiner, invigilator, course instructor, subject teacher, which role you are addressing? Yes. Next comes date. Number 2, you put date. Maintain consistency and easy to read. There are many ways to write it. Okay, I'll write it. Raju, stop typing. Will confuse others. Yes. So as of now, these 4 are coming to to my mind. One is 11th September, 2020, or you can write 11/09/2020. You can also write 09/11/2020. 11/9 and 09/11. I mean, the same date can be presented in two ways. In the first one, you mention the day first and then the month, and then the second one, you mention the month first and then the date. That's the reason. Avoid both, because it will create confusion. The reader will never know which format you use. Okay, I will never understand whether it's the 11th September or you are talking about 9th November. It will create confusion. So as I told you, that easy to read, and your language in formal letter should be unambiguous. There should not be any doubt about it. So that's the reason, because this kind of format creates confusion. Avoid both. Write 11 September, 2020 or September 11, 2020. This will have much more clarity. Okay, the moment I look at it, I will understand. Because I got 2 mail attachments by the same person, and in those 2 mail attachments, 2 different date format was maintained for exam purpose, and it created huge problem because one person maintained 2 different formats. For one, he maintained that 11/09, and then for 09/11. It created huge problem. Then that's how you see so many exam routine, because people don't maintain consistency. It's not easy to read. So that is one thing, is that easy to read. 11 September 2020 or September 11, 2020. For both the cases, there is a comma before 2020. Please note it down. And then maintain consistency. If you are following 11 September 2020, please, for each occasion, maintain this format. Okay, because it will be also again mentioning date for other things, for acknowledgement or for some other. In the body of the letter also you mention date. Even in the place of signature, you might mention date. Okay, so if there are chances that you will be writing the date for 2 or 3 times in the formal letter, please stick to any one of them. This is also applicable for your academic writing. Okay, be consistent for spelling, for hyphenated, hyphen usage, for dates. Be consistent and stick to that. So I hope I'm clear, and I'm moving on to the next one. Rakesh, I did not get your question. Yes, I can understand that there are 2 ways of presenting it, but then as I told you that it confuses people. The month, day and year are more popular, but then there are, day, month, year are more popular. But then there are instances where people have maintained month, day and year. They are, but then people do it. So that's the reason, avoid both. Rakesh, can you please ask your query specifically, because I'm not getting it. Anyway, so I'll come to number 3. That is sender's details. I'm sorry. It's a mistake. It should be from. Sorry. Please discard the post made 321. It should be from. Yes. Sorry, please discard the first one. It should be from. Sender's details start with from. So you mention from, and then relevant designation, address, be apt about the way recipient will identify you. Remember the number of letters they get. Okay, so here again it's the same thing. If it's about class related things, you put your class roll number, your admission roll number, not class roll number, your admission roll number, and then the department and all these things. If it's about exam related, you put your exam roll number, the exam, and also your department. So if you are writing a letter to your local MLA, then you don't put your exam roll number or even your admission roll number. There you put your home address, your residential address. So even your identity changes. Okay, the way my identity changed for different situations, even as a writer, your identity will change. Imagine you are writing an invitation letter for Teachers' Day. So there you are writing on behalf of the class. So there you don't put your roll number there, okay? You just write from Department of CSE. You got it? Even as a writer, your identity changes. Whether you are writing as a class student, whether you are writing as a writer of an examiner, or whether you are writing on behalf of your class. So that's how your sender's details will change. Okay, and that's the reason I have told you, be apt about the way the recipient, the reader will identify, and remember the number of letters they get. The MLA will not know you as a BTech student, okay? So if you mention that this name, Arijita Pradhan, BTech student, he is least bothered about my course, okay? Because you are talking about the local situation, so you have to mention your residential address, okay? So that's how it is. Say, for example, you are writing a letter to the owners of Flat Owners Association. So then your flat address is important. So I hope I have already made it clear with the other examples. So when you are writing, please focus on your identity as the writer of that particular letter. Okay, even you have different identity as a writer. Okay, then comes subject. Okay, okay, yeah, there is. Yes, it's fine, it's fine. Okay, just get the whatever I have shared, get the classwork from your friends, it's fine. Yes, so subject, we mentioned the subject because as I told you, these papers, these letters are read by people who are extremely busy. Imagine the number of letters VC sir will be getting, or maybe the registrar sir will be getting. So what they do is that they quickly look at the subject and then they send the letter to the respective department. If it's about scholarship, they will send it to the scholarship. If it's about exam, he will send it to the exam department. Okay. If it's about some ceremony, and he will send it to the personal section or something like that. So the subject is very important. And when you write the subject, please keep in mind the purpose of your letter, the 10 different types of letter that we learned. So the subject will change from apology letter to complaint letter to invitation letter to resignation letter to the letter of interest to the complaint letter. Please keep in mind the purpose of writing the letter. Okay, and please use some kind of action verb. Try to use. It might not be always possible, but then try to use some kind of action verb. So you say that this is the kind of action that you are expecting. Okay, try to use some kind of action verb, and it should be always in line with the purpose of the letter, and it should be clearly stated. And it should not be too long. Okay, not 7-8 words. Okay, it's generally 4 to 6 words. Okay, so it should, because don't make it too long. It is generally the subject, and then the elaboration of the subject comes in just one line. Okay, it ends in one line. So generally it's 3 to 7 words. And then provide necessary details for easy segregation. As I told you, please keep in mind about the reader of the letter, how many letters they will get it. Okay, so if you are applying for a project, so you write application, okay, so you are applying for a workshop. You want to attend one workshop. So you write application for workshop, and then within bracket you mention the name of the workshop, or maybe if there is any code of the workshop. because it's possible that you are writing an application to NIT Silchar, and they have many workshops going on. So the person needs to understand very specifically that which workshop you are referring to. So application to attend workshop, and within bracket is mentioned the name or the code of the workshop. Application for scholarship, and you are writing an application for scholarship to UGC, and UGC has some 30 to 40 types of scholarship. So when you are mentioning for scholarship, put it within bracket, because they are not going to spend time to read your body of the letter to find out which scholarship you are referring to. It's your responsibility to clearly state. So it should not be too long, but then you should add the important details, provide necessary details for easy segregation. So yes, so yeah, I'm just left with 2 minutes. If you have any doubt about any of these components, you can ask me. If you have doubt about any of these components, if you want me to go back to any of these components, you can ask me. If you don't have any doubt, you may leave. Okay. Stay back if you have doubt. If you have question, you may leave if you don't have any doubt. But please add these 2 hours as extra, and please fill up the tables, and please add the class note. Don't just take screenshot.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. I hope you learned something.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Hello.
Saurabh, yes.
I want to know the difference between the 2 sentences.
You want to know the difference between?
I got to go and 2 sentences. I got
Yeah.
to go, or I will go. This.
Please put it in the chat box.
Sometimes
yeah, I got it. I roughly got your question, but then please put it in the chat box so that others can read. Can you put it in the chat box? It will be difficult for you. Saurabh, can you please put it in the chat box? Yeah, do that. Yes, thank you. Because it's important for others to read it. Yes, Saurabh, I put it for others as well. So I got to go is very, very informal. Okay, I got to go. It's very informal. It's only used in conversation, and only conversation with your very close friends. Okay, I got to go. You don't even use it for conversation with your teachers. The second one is I have to go is just a formal version of I got to go. The second one, the meaning are the same. I got to go and I have to go, the meaning are same. Just that the first one is very informal, the second one is very formal. Okay. I will go, the meaning is different. You are just saying that I will go.
Okay.
मैं जाऊंगा और मुझे जाना है. It's different, isn't it? मुझे जाना है मतलब कि you have some duty, you have some responsibility. Okay. Or I will go is just I will go.
Okay.
Second and the third one are different in their meaning. First and the second one are different in their terms of formality. Okay?
Okay.
Did I answer your question, Sarah?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.